Hey y'all. So I guess I'm gonna start my YouTube channel now. Anyway, my name is Desiree, for y'all who don't know. And I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about my situation that I have going on in my life. So some of you who know me know that I've been married for the last 14 years. My husband name is Rafiq, and we've posted all over Instagram for years. Like, even people that don't know me, that follow me on Instagram, know that, I have a husband because that's all they see me with. So, anyway, of course, like, the people that are not close to me, that don't know me in real life, they think, that they know your life from just seeing you on social media. So they pretty much just assume things. But so I wanted to talk a little bit about that and just, clear the air a little bit about not idolizing people's relationship that you see on Instagram that you think is perfect from just pictures and a short clip of videos. So anyway, I want to say that me and my husband, we started out like, great. Like, I feel like the honeymoon phase of pretty much any relationship, for maybe, I want to say the first 2 years, we were great. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. He cheated on me first, and it broke our trust. So, I wanted to leave. We broke up for a little while. After a while, I forgave him and we got back together. And, after that, I didn't trust him. Even though I said that, I would try, I didn't trust him. So, I started doing me. I started playing games, talking to different people, and he would go through my phone and find messages and text messages and stuff like that in my phone. So, so the relationship was just pretty much screwed then. I feel like now, thinking back, I just feel like we should have probably broke up then, but we didn't. We stayed together. We tried to make it work. It was a lot of infidelity, I feel like, on my part, after he cheated, me not trusting him anymore. So, fast forward, we tried to get it together. We got it together. And then we, some years later, we decided we would get married. He proposed to me, whatever. So, we did that. We had another baby. And then, by the way, I have 3 kids. My youngest is with him. So after we got married, I got into some trouble and I was sentenced to go away to prison, federal prison, for, I did about 11 months, almost 11 months. And then I was sent home to a halfway house in Philly. So, and he was there every single weekend. He brought the baby because I got arrested when I was pregnant. And he brought the baby to see me every weekend. He came to see me, every single weekend, 3-hour ride with the newborn baby. So I did come home right before my son turned 1. And, everything was cool when I first got home, of course. We were all over each other. We were in love. And then I'm not even exactly sure what happened or how the conversation came up about me liking females and talking to females. I think it was just like a mutual conversation with my friends and stuff like that. And of course he was when he first heard me say, that I liked girls or I find them attractive, I look at females, he was hyped up by that. He, as I feel like most men are, to hear their woman or their, like, significant other say that they like females or that they would have sex with a female or something like that. So he was turned on by that. And then so, like, it was just like, little stuff. We just would talk about like little stuff, like possibly having a threesome, but we never acted on it like right away. So there was this lady or whatever that I followed on Instagram that I had like this big crush on or whatever. And long story short about that, I had a big crush on her, and he knew, like, that I had this big crush on her. So that kind of started like him being a little bit jealous, like acting a little bit about me posting her like every single week for my WCW. It just got real, like, real crazy. So finally, like, I guess he felt like, he probably had to join in on it and kind of like go along with it, even though I feel like he really didn't like it and he was getting jealous. I feel like that should have been nipped in the butt, like, from the beginning, instead of him being honest and saying that, he was a little jealous of that and me posting her, like, every single week and DMing her and stuff like that, even texting her, like, like outside of Instagram, like, or whatever. He felt some type of way about that, and instead of him being honest, he didn't. He kind of just went along with it and was just following, like, my lead. So when we would go out to like parties and stuff like that, he would like say stuff to people like, my wife, like, right here, like, yeah, she like you, she think you got a nice body, like, he would do stuff like that. So we did that for a little bit or whatever, and then fast forward, we ended up, like, eventually having our first threesome. It didn't go so well at first. He was jealous because he thought that I was showing the female more attention. And we did it a few more times after that. Same kind of reaction for a little while or whatever. And he would always say the same thing, that he felt like I was more into the female than him. So fast forward, this one girl, so this was our first female that we had a threesome with. Fast forward past her, we had a threesome with somebody else. Of course, it's a time span over it. It's not like one girl, then like the next night another girl. No. So it was like a time period over time. Our second female that we had a threesome with, me and her, we kind of developed more of a relationship than just sex. And he didn't like that as well. Of course, like, he was like, no, it's just about sex. Like, that's it. He wasn't interested in having a relationship with her, whatever. So it took me a little bit of time to cut her off. Because, like, once you, like, start dealing with somebody for a period of time and y'all have, I feel like my head looks so long on here, y'all. I was just crazy. But once you start dealing with somebody for like a long period of time and you start talking to people every day, you develop a friendship. Then that friendship, like, you start liking the person for more than just like, looks or, whatever. And that was the situation with me and her. But then I realized that, I couldn't deal with her anymore because of just certain situations. I felt like she was, a little crazy or whatever, and not like, not for me. So we stopped dealing with that. And then after a while, now I'm kind of getting to test the waters with the females, and I'm liking it. So instead of me being honest and telling him that I'm liking the way this feel, I'm liking, actually being with a female, not saying that I wanted to leave him, but like, instead of me being honest about my true feelings and stuff like that, like, I didn't. So I would not step out of the marriage and actually have sex with other females, but I was flirting with them. He would find text messages in my phone with other females and stuff like that. So that is a form of cheating. So then there was that. So we kind of put a band-aid over that. Like, we would talk about it, argue about it, talk about it, you know, say that I wasn't going to do it anymore or whatever. So during COVID, when COVID first started in 2020, you know, the nail salons and stuff like that, like, they were closed. So you couldn't really get your nails and your feet done. So, you know, he was on Instagram and he found, he saw his friend was getting his wife's feet done by somebody that was like a traveling person that get, that do nails and feet. So he hooked that up or whatever. So I talked to her, you know, she came out, did my feet and stuff like that. Fast forward that, her birthday was coming up. Like, we had kind of developed a relationship. She was coming, like, you know, to do my feet and stuff like that. I had hooked her up with a couple of my friends. So we kind of like built, like, you know, the friendship or whatever. She was, you know, liking all the atmosphere down my house because we always had live entertainment going on, like with drinks, and, you know, it was always like a little situation down in my house. So she liked that or whatever. So her birthday was coming up and we had offered to cook for her. Me, a couple of my friends, my husband, whatever, we offered to cook for her, whatever. So I kind of knew at that point that she liked me. But still, like, you know, I was never the person, the aggressive one to react on that. Like, you know, she would have to say something to me. So I kind of knew it. We kind of figured it out, me and my husband. But, like, you know, I didn't say anything to her. So the night that she came for dinner, you know, at our house or whatever,